Take the grand tour, GT. Step into the grand tour, Step into the grand tour, Dragonball GT. Step into the grand tour, Dragonball GT. Step into the grand tour, a brand new adventure begins. Another challenge for Goku and his friends. Now he's a Saiyan strong. Feel makes him a child again. The Dragon Balls are turning furniture in. World and everything within. The ultimate battle between good and evil. Who's gonna win when the sand clock dictates the consequence? Will I both have the strength to be our last line of defense? Step into the grand tour, Dragonball GT.
Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another episode of the Collection Crib. I am your host, Tyler Cloud. Today, we're going to be unboxing the Dragon Star series Super Saiyan 4 Goku action figure. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you all the entire Dragon Ball GT DVD set that came out in 2004. Well, almost all of them. I know I'm missing the lost episodes, so to speak, of 1 through 16, but come on, there's no reason to watch them. I mean, I think even Toonami realized this when they showed the Dragon Ball GT episodes on Toonami. They just didn't include them. They were probably so bad, and trust me, they are, that they just refused to show them in America until they were released on DVD as the lost episodes. And you're not missing much, but this is the entire DVD set that was released originally in America, with the English dub and the Mike Mesna score, and I was a little hesitant to buy the remastered version of Dragon Ball GT. You can find them at Walmart and Target or whatnot. I was a little nervous because I wanted to have the Mike Mesna score because it's a very underrated score. The music kind of reminds me of like the Alan Parsons Project mixed with Final Fantasy VIII. I know that's a weird comparison, but I really like the soundtrack. It's kind of underrated in my view. And I'm not a huge fan of the Japanese score. You know, call me a hater, say what you want, but this is just what, comes to mind. Just the Mike Mesna score, English dub, say what you want about GT and all its weirdness and flaws. GT, to me, is more watchable and enjoyable than Dragon Ball Super. And it's kind of weird. Think of like episodes 1 through 16 when, they were the lost episodes. I think that's what Dragon Ball Super should have done. Forget the Beerus saga and forget the Golden Frieza saga. All you needed were those movies. And yet we got them anyway. So I think GT knew, just what to get rid of in the beginning rather than what Dragon Ball Super tried to do. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to show all the DVDs that came out in America right when they were released. And then after the whole series was complete, that's when they did the lost episodes. But you will not see the lost episodes on my show. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first DVD, Affliction, with General Rildo and Goku as a kid on the cover. And I swear, all of these Dragon Ball GTs has an affection with the ION at the end. I mean, every single DVD you're going to see has ION or IONS or ONS. Really weird. I don't know why they kind of went with that direction, but yeah, every DVD has of course the pamphlet here. You got Pan and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the insides there. Exclusive t-shirt offer. And of course, you got how the series started there with Emperor Pilaf wishing for the Black Star Dragon. Don't even get me started how the Black Star Dragons or the Dragon Balls were created. I don't know. I think it was Evil Piccolo's doing or something. But yeah, really, really great show. And like I said, even though it has its flaws, I think GT is more serviceable to watch than Super. I mean, like I said, Super has its moments. But I think Dragon Ball GT is definitely, because it was the height. It was still in the mania that was Dragon Ball Z. And it was kind of hard to live up to what Dragon Ball Z was. But I think for what Dragon Ball GT did, I think it was pretty serviceable. Of course, with the villain of Baby, what could go no wrong? Incubation, the second DVD released. And of course, you had Dr. Mew, who was somewhat the brainchild of it all. And just very interesting episodes, and it's kind of weird just how, Baby just reminds me of like Cell and Boo combined, just like the recreation biotube, so to speak, of Cell, and then he kind of moves around like Boo. Kind of interesting. So we got Affliction, Incubation, and the third DVD is Creation. This is when Baby really starts to get serious. And of course, he's got that iconic look when he starts to fight Goten. And they need a figure of him. Dragon Stars, if you're going to make more GT figures, please make this version of Baby, or maybe Baby right before he gets blasted into the sun. Yeah, I hope Dragon Stars makes more GT figures, like the Dragons, or, like I said, more Baby figures, or Super 17, which we'll get to in a second. So there's Creation. And, oh goodness, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right. Proliferation. Oh god. There's Baby in Vegeta's body, and of course, when he takes over Gohan and Goten and Trunks' body, this is when Baby starting his conquest to take over the world, so to speak, when he invades all of the humans' minds and stuff, and they all are pretty much evil. For the most part, almost everybody's evil. But yeah, then there's Vegeta with his daughter Bola, or Bra, as I was introduced way back in the day. From the magazines, which we'll get to in another episode. But yeah, there's Super Baby Vegeta confronting Trunks, saying like, "Oh, I'm not your daddy." Really weird. And here we've got, don't want them to fall, Ramifications. And of course it fell. Ramifications, this is when Super Baby Vegeta 2, of course, comes into the picture. Of course, he's got that iconic look with that, the gray hair, which almost kind of reminds me of Ultra Instinct. I'm not even going to go there with Dragon Ball Super. And then you got Goku with his Super Saiyan 3 look, and of course, it drains his power just because he's a kid again, and he's not used to that kind of energy being drained. And there's Pan on a capsule binge. What is she in a movie, Akira? Ramifications, definitely so far the best cover of the first 5 DVDs. Really cool. Let's move on to Preparation with Oob on the cover. And, yeah, not much to say. Oob is, the reincarnation of Kid Buu, and this is when he absorbed, well, I guess you could say absorbed, but he got the powers of the other Majin Buu, the Fat Buu, and this is how he able to acquire the vest and the pants, and, well, he doesn't really do too much, but at least he's shown to have great powers, and he does, have an interesting battle with Baby, so no more, no less. Oob does his best, and Preparation is definitely what we need for the next DVD, and that is the introduction of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Of course, we'll get to the figure in just a bit, but there is the iconic Super Saiyan 4 himself, the poster child of the whole series, in Annihilation. I swear, I really do like these titles, but Goku, of course, starts to fight Baby when he's in his Mighty Ozaru form. And, of course, I'll get to the details of Super Saiyan 4 in a bit. But I just love that design. He's got, almost like blood under his eyes. Like, they're not bloodshot eyes, but almost like the insides of his eyes are all bloody. Really interesting. But I love the ape form of Baby. And, of course, when Goku transforms into the Super Saiyan 4, of course, which we'll get to in a minute. But let's continue with the DVDs. And now we got Salvation, and here is Baby in his Super Saiyan Ozaru form, and he's gonna go with his Big Bang Blaster, I believe, and really, really cool DVD. Now, you might be asking really quickly, why didn't you pick up the VHS copies of these? Well, they're a little bit more expensive, and I figure, the Dragon Ball Z arc kind of ended the era of VHSs for me, so I figure if I have the Super movies on Blu-ray, why not have the GT episodes on DVD? I mean, say what you want about the quality, but come on. The VHSs aren't exactly the best quality either, but you know what? Like I said, it's what you grew up with is what matters, rather than, what the public or, general public thinks of it. And now we move on to the Super 17 arc, which is only a few episodes, but I really like Super 17's design. Dragon Stars, we need this figure. Super 17 fused with another 17 to become the taller, more menacing 17. And of course, he goes on a rampage. And then we're reintroduced to Cell and Frieza, who are in hell. And of course, they They have their tiny little plot to kill Goku, of course, but if you haven't seen GT, I'll try not to spoil it too much, but let's just say Cell and Frieza are punks in, their little time in GT. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's still kind of cool to see them back in action. And now we move on to the second part of the Super 17 saga, and that is Revelations. We had calculations and now Revelations. And he's got that Dr. Gero Android 19 energy absorbing spot there, which is really cool. Of course, just reminds me of the era. Kind of a nostalgic blast here. Just, say what you want. Super 17, he's really cool. I just really like his design. Really menacing, and just, if you want to say more bad things about GT, just watch Super. I mean, come on. To me, I just think GT was just really, it wasn't created by Akira Toriyama, but he only did the main characters, and he didn't really have anything to do with the story or the designs of the villains. So you make what you can, and I think GT did a pretty fair job, despite the criticism from fans or whatever. But after watching Super, I think it's fair to say that GT definitely delivered, of course, with the dragons. Next DVD is Evolution. And of course, the 7 dragons are introduced. And like I said, if Dragon Stars are going to make more figures, we need those dragons. They're really cool. And hey, if they can make a Yakan figure or Gogeta with Janemba appear, which they only appeared for like 2 minutes, they can make the dragons. Come on, guys, make it happen. But yeah, that's one of the dragons. Really, really cool. Let's move on to Revolution. And of course, we've got Oceanus, who is my favorite dragon of the Shadow Dragon arc. And of course, we all know about her, how she was created, with Oolong wishing for the panties in the original Dragon Ball series.
That stupid pig!
Sexism aside, Oceanus is my favorite dragon, and it's pretty cool just watching her fight Goku and Pan. I mean, come on, when Goku and Pan first try to punch her in the face, she just looks badass. Just look at this. Oh god, there's not too many female villains in Dragon Ball, let alone Dragon Ball GT, and just seeing that, I'm like, why didn't she last longer? She should have been, close to the final boss. It's a shame they didn't do too much with her, but what we saw is what we got. She definitely left an impression, and I hope they have a figure of her to come. And now we've got Realization. Whoops, don't want to have those fall yet, or at all. Realization, we've got Nova Shenron and Ice Shenron, of course. They should have figures of them, too. Like I said about all the dragons, but if they were to make only 3, Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron, and Oceanus Shenron would really be cool because, I mean, come on, they're like anthropomorphic monsters with wings. They're really, really cool, and Realization is coming closer to having the fusion of Goku and Vegeta to become Gogeta, what is the greatest character in all of Dragon Ball GT. Of course, I did 2 episodes on Gogeta with him by himself with Omega Shenron. And then, of course, the one where he has the Big Bang Kamehameha, which was my last episode. But yeah, Conversion is what it is. Conversion, Dragon Ball GT, Super Saiyan 4 is at its all-time high, and of course there's the fusion dance that they do, and I don't care how much Vegeta hates it. It's way better than those stupid earrings. Vegito, I hate you. Gogeta is the best. And that, of course, brings us to the final DVD, Generations, the end, the true end to the entire Dragon Ball series. And of course, Goku becomes somewhat of a god, and then you see the descendants after 100 years, Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., and the entire planet Earth is in great balance. And then you see Omega Shenron in all his final glory. It's just a great way to end the series. Say what you want about GT, the ending, the final episode, Until We Meet Again, was definitely almost like a tearjerker for me. I got choked up because, say what you want about GT. I keep saying that, say what you want about GT, but come on. GT should get its due, and I just love the series. And it just has a lot of great moments. Some of the moments are just, they last a lifetime, despite all the criticism. GT, definitely give it a watch. If you can find these DVDs, if you can, or even on VHS, please do so. If you are the ones who grew up with the Toonami Mike Mesna score. Because, like I said, I wasn't so sure about the green box remastered version, because you know how so much criticism is given to the remastered boxes or the orange boxes for Dragon Ball Z, so to speak. And I couldn't find the American score on the back. It said English dub with Japanese music. I wasn't into that. No offense to the Japanese score, but it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z Kai, you know? It just didn't match the Bruce Falconer score. And I know Bruce Falconer should have been in GT, but you know what? Mike Mesna definitely brought his A game for the series. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to Super Saiyan 4 Goku himself. Let's not waste any more time. Let's just get him open. And as of this recording, he is the final Dragon Star series Dragon Ball GT figure to be opened on my show. And of course, we got the background, lovely blue. I'm going to put that in the background. There we go. And it's kind of weird. His tail is separate. Vegeta and Gogeta, their tails were always attached. So I wonder why Goku's was detached, so to speak. Well, maybe we'll find that out. Let's get him out. Hopefully nothing detaches. All right. Let's go ahead and get his tail out. I don't see any tape holding it down. Yep, simple as that. And we'll leave the hands just for now. Let's take a look at Goku. Yes, the first Super Saiyan 4 introduced in the show, who was pure Super Saiyan power. He didn't need any Blutz waves or anything like that. You know, looking at you, Vegeta. But yeah, Goku, definitely awesome with his long black hair. And there's where the hole's going to go for the tail. His ape skin, and he's got yellow pants. Definitely not the key we're familiar with. Or not key, whatever. His attire, his orange attire. Definitely a different attire. If they have the Goku where he has, you know, his blue attire, that'd be kind of neat to have in the Dragon Star series figures. Let's go ahead and attach Goku's tail. Still strange that they have this detached from him rather than just having it on him like Gogeta and Vegeta. There we go. There he is, folks. The first one to reach Super Saiyan 4 status. Goku. Yes, really, really, really cool. And there he is in all of his glory. His arm there looks a little strange. I'll have to fix that in a minute. But yeah, look at his long, spiky hair. Really, really fascinating. The Super Saiyan 4, the poster child of the whole GT series. Just fascinating. He's got like his ape pecs there, his abs. He's got the blue socks there, black shoes. And like I said, his tail. And of course, he's got that menacing look. And just the way he became Super Saiyan 4 was interesting, but yeah, Super Saiyan 4 is the best form of all the Super Saiyans. Yeah, Super Saiyan 3 is cool, but come on. Goku and Gotenks, they didn't deserve it. They just like, hey, look what I can do. Ah! And they did it. Like, this was more emotional because Goku was far away from his planet, and as soon as he saw it, just inside of him was just like, he was like brokenhearted, so there we go. I think I fixed his arm. But yeah, then Goku, proud, strong, the savior of his real home, planet Earth. And no more, no less. Goku is the best. Silly, but he was the best. So now, ladies and gentlemen, now that all of the Dragon Ball GT figures have been opened on my show, let's bring them in really quick just for a quick little send-off for these guys. Until, you know, Dragon Stars decides to make more, which I'm hoping they make Super 17 and the other dragons. I mean, come on. If they can make Omega Shenron, they need to make the other 6. Yeah, here at this point are all of the figures of Dragon Ball GT from the Dragon Stars series. And let's bring in the Big Bang Kamehameha. There we go. Or I like to call it the Blue Fan. But really cool. These are all the GT figures. No more, no less so far. And like I said, Dragon Stars, get on it. We need a few more. But, you know, I'm in no hurry. If this is all we get from GT, I'll be pretty satisfied. So, what a way to go off on the Dragon Ball GT series with such great figures and, you know, the series as a whole. Say what you want. It's a great show in my book. flaws and all. Every show is flawed. Come on. That's what criticism's all about. We judge them, we watch them, and we love them. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being a part of this episode of The Collection Crib. I thank you all for watching. Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.